Carissa, Carissa, Carissa. Hello. Hold on. You're coming in. Let's see. Okay, so you can hear me, but I can't hear you. So go ahead and hit the unmute button and then allow your camera to turn on as well. Should be, depending on what you're on, should be down the bottom. Oh, you got that.
Okay.
Okay, we got the mute and we
Eh,
got the camera. Kind of. No.
Wait
Oh,
a minute.
yes.
Oh, no.
Hello. How are y'all?
How are you?
I'm well. I am so sorry. I was already running behind and I was looking at the clock and I was like, "Oh my god, can I hold it?" I was like, "I can't hold it. Oh my gosh, I have to."
Okay.
I
That's why
was
I
running.
laughed.
So,
I was like, do what you
thank
need.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry. I always like to be very honest at like what's going on. So, let me tell y'all before we get started, thank you for being here. Let me go ahead and close that out. Close that out. Hold on. I'm going to feel. Give me 1 second. I had to go and grab the dog and bring it back in too. So, I just wanted to like mommy mode. Hold on. Okay, who are you? Ooh, somebody just showed up. Um it's like you could just see somebody kind of like walk behind you and wave and they go hi, like hello, just that, just very almost like casual. So I'll have to figure out who this person is. Doesn't feel feminine, doesn't feel feminine. So I that obviously, what is it, goes into masculine. So we'll have to figure out who that is. Um let me see. What are you doing? Okay, let me tell you how this happens. So number one, it's obviously just gonna be me. I'm gonna have this fun little pen. I'm probably gonna chew on it a lot. I'm also just gonna have this notepad. So the only thing I do, well, it's the newer one, but all I do is script. That's it, over and over and over again. It just kind of allows my anxiety to go away. When you channel, how do you do it? Well, anybody can do it. We're all people. I mean, we're all spirit in a body, essentially just animating a corpse. You just have to learn a different language. That's it. So when they come in, how do they do this? Well, they come in and they're right here. I mean, they're just right here. And it's essentially like tuning into a radio station. And it's a really like a three-part process because they use your energy because you are the one with the connection. You're the one with the memory to them, not me, right? But essentially you're also the one that's feeding this energy for this connection or this channel to take place. When they show up, we're saying, "Hey, I love you so much. Please come in and hop in Amy's body and play with her brain and use it like a computer." That's all it is, okay? And they do this for y'all too. So as we're going through this experience, some of the things that I like to do is I like to over explain like how I'm getting this symbol, how am I getting these phrases, because this is how they talk. And so maybe down the line you could be like, "Oh shit, did they just do that to me? Was that what happened?" And you'll like realize that, yeah, that's how it works. When they talk in four different ways. The first way is that they will come in and they will essentially pick all of these signs and symbols that I've made in my head over the years. Like they may show me something like a pineapple. That means that they're from Florida, or a palm tree means that they're from California. They'll line all these symbols up. Boom, that's a sentence. The next thing is that they will try to talk in mainly feelings. So that's what was going on just a second ago. It wasn't the fact that I fully like saw them, but if you've ever seen how somebody walks into a room very nice or like feels versus somebody that's very angry, they gave me that feeling instead. So that's like showing up. And they will just make me feel essentially these very big, elaborate sentences. And I'll just have to tell you what they are. The next two things, or the last two things, are that they will try to put me in a situation that has happened to them, will happen to you, or has happened to you. Okay. And so they will go and they will take my memories that I've had personally, anytime in my life, including television shows that I've seen, videos that I've watched, I mean, and other clients' experiences, and they will put those in my brain in a certain order and they will try to tell a story that way. Now, the only issue for me personally with this is that, so essentially I've had all of my own memories, right? But I'm from Houston, Texas, okay, originally. I currently live in the middle of nowhere in East Texas on the Louisiana border. I don't believe in snow. I've never really been above Oklahoma, and I haven't been out of the country. So if for some reason y'all have family in, I don't know, Washington State, and you ask me what the neighborhood looked like there, I have no idea. I've never been there. So the only way that I would know that is that if I've had another client that brought it up or if I've seen like a video of it. Okay. So that'd be very hard for me to get. And then the last thing is that they will just talk in words. So sometimes they will just show up and they will just boop words in my head. Like my last client, I was sitting there and her dad was showing up, which is really cool. And all of a sudden I was like, "What is like the heavy B name for the dog?" I was like buh, buh. And she was like, "Oh, his dog was named Bear. I was like, oh, okay, but that makes sense. I'm okay with that. So that's kind of how they talk. They do this all at the same time, all inside of my brain, and I'm essentially solving this massive, intense puzzle in a half a second to try to explain how they talk. So the only thing I really need for any of y'all is during this thing when I go, hey, does this make sense to you? You go, hell yeah, Amie, it does, or no, it doesn't. And the reason for that is because when they're doing all this and I'm turning it into a sentence and I give it to you and you go, yes, I go, oh my God, okay. So my interpretation of what I just got made sense to them. And then I can move forward with like the next mini puzzle. It's essentially a game the entire session for me. And it's very, very fun. So ask me any questions that you want. If you want me to see if somebody else can come through, just ask me as well. We just have to like redirect it a little bit. If you want me to go more into y'all too, we can do that as well. I'm just going to kind of be zoned out, just staring off into la la land over here or looking at this little candy box that I have here. Because if I stare at y'all, then I'm like, wow, is her shirt denim or is it actually blue? Because if it's denim, I need a denim shirt. So that's how my brain works. And that's why I can't stare at you. Okay. So, or what do they call it? Not Argyle. I don't remember what they're calling it right now. So just stay with me. Okay, let's see. Interesting. Yeah, there is a guy that apparently knows both of you. Because there is a feeling of coming up in between you, and like if somebody comes up and puts their arms on either shoulder and saying hi. So that means that they're comfortable enough to touch you both, okay, in that manner. And they're saying, hold on, what? And they keep going like, "You missed me, you missed me, you missed me," just like in a very like jokey way. They're talking about they do give you a kiss on your cheek, which is interesting. So, which is just very like loving and nice, like, "Hey, how are you?" Nothing sexy. Okay, it's just like very like benign. And they're talking about how who, what? Hold on. Do y'all go out to eat all the time?
No, no.
Okay, interesting. They're just talking about, like, "I just wanna go out with y'all." Like, not in a weird way, and they went and they showed me, like, for me and my husband, we go and we get wings all the time, like, that's what we do, and so they're talking about wings in my head, so that can mean just, like, going out to eat with you or, like, wanting to go and hang out more. They're saying that tell me, what? Hold on. Oh, so they're talking about Carissa, um, hold on. They're having you go so for me, that means maybe I don't know what that means. Hold on. I don't think you overly panic. Um, do you like overthink and like hardcore a lot or like just get yourself like okay. Sorry. And I'm just gonna so they're pulling all these examples in my brain up. So if it doesn't match the exact example, I apologize on that. But this is what they're doing. They're having you walking around and you're like, okay, I forgot this. Okay, I got this. Okay, this is good. Oh no, what am I? I mean, I don't think you're going that extreme, but that's just to show me the panic that would ensue. Okay, it could be, but and they're like, calm down. That's all they're saying. Calm down or chill. And they're talking about how this is definitely a guy. All they showed me right now is like if they're sitting on my couch with me and they cross their leg, but not in a girl way, like they cross it in a guy way, which just means they're a man. And they're talking about how hold on. Oh, what? Here. What are you doing? Who are you? Hold on. My girls. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. What do you mean? Who are you? Definitely doesn't feel young. I would have to say this is just a feeling. This is not getting into numbers. Hmm. Weird. Was this person maybe in like their like late 50s? Maybe? Or like mid 50s? Like just right around there. Do you have any
Yeah.
idea?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, just because they showed me where they would have now I don't know if this is an actual thing, but these are just my symbols for age and like what it could be. So they showed me like if you have hair but it's balding or if it's like coming out like that. If you used to think you were really hot and fit, but now you're really not, you just are just trying to look good in the mirror, you know, just because. It's almost like you turn into having a little bit of a dad bod, but they keep showing their calves. So they must have either moved around a lot or walked a lot, or they really like their calves. I have no idea why, but they're just going, they have these shoes or tennis shoes on. They're like, and you don't see my leg, but it's moving like this. And I'm like, okay, fine. So, but they're funny and they're light and they're what? They're fresh. They're in a higher vibrational state. They're not in purgatory or hell, which is great. That means that they're in heaven and they really do adore both of you. So hold on. Why? Hold on. Tell me. Interesting. So is this mom? Is this your mom?
No.
You look like best friends. Okay. Who is she to you? That's the best. Oh, it is best friends.
Yeah.
It is. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what is this? Do you like look after her and like tell her what to do and how to calm down? Oh, okay.
Much, yeah.
That's why. Yeah. So that's why. Yeah. Because they keep coming up and they say, you tell her to calm down more. You tell her to be careful more. You tell her to do good more. And then he keeps making me feel like y'all are best friends. And I'm like, well, how can you act like a mom and not be that, you know? So I'm glad that y'all are together. And he keeps saying, tell me, hold on. Weird. He goes, I don't know who exactly, what relationship it is, but he likes to come up to you, best friend, and just like give you a really, really big hug, which is great. So hold on. Or like comes up and like gives you a closer hug than her. So I would have to say, does like this 50s person go with like a relationship for you or something? Or what happened with him? No wonder. Oh, I'm glad he just gave her a kiss on the cheek instead more. That's good. All right. So that's good.
Yeah, he's my husband.
So that's how, yeah, good. Yeah. Cause now they will come up and that's how they show me like what their relationship was like. But when he came up to you, he's like, and so that's very much more than just a mwah, right? And he's fun. I like him. He's very light. He's like, now, I don't think he's dancing around like this normally, but he's just wanted to show you that he's fine and he's goofy and he's okay and he's great. And he says, shake it off. So what happened to you? When usually somebody presents themselves like this, it usually means like the last part of their life was pretty darn tough, or like there was something going on that was pretty darn tough. Just because he keeps saying, like, I shook it off. We're gonna see if he can walk me backwards to this and like tell me what's going on. What? Who? My what? No, they're not. No, they're not. Hold on. Hold on. Is his mother? No. His mother's alive?
No.
His mother is crossed. Okay, he goes, tell my mom, I love her. I love her. And I'm like, do you want me to tell her you love her? So he's with his mom. Okay. Or his mom is around, which is great. And is this Mike? Is this Mike?
No, this is Terry.
Where's Terry? This is Terry. Okay, interesting. So does Mike go mainly with you? Only
Yeah.
Carissa? Okay, yeah, because he goes like this. He says, I found Mike. And I said, okay, what's up with Mike? And then I said, is he your friend or what? And he goes, over here, over here, over here. So he's talking about you. So he'll come over. If they didn't know each other in life, it's okay. They know each other in passing. It's fine. They will talk about that as well. Okay. Don't ever feel like, they want it. It's a big, wide space. We can always meet there as well. Come here. Tell me what? I'm going to see. Come here, Terry. Tell me about you. Oh, hold on. What? Was it popular in the 70s? Why do you say that? I said, why are you named Terry? My husband's middle name is Terry. And I said, what caused him to be named that? And he's talking about being popular in the 70s. I said, oh, and does like the Terry also go along with like a grandfather or something too for him? Like, where did that come into play?
No, it's just
It's
No.
just popular. It was just popular. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So he's named after his grandfather, great grandfather, and great great grandfather. And I said, is there any significance? And he's just talking about it being a popular name. I said, okay. He says that, hold on. I like to ask them like direct questions to see what else they can tell me. So tell me about her. What? So your husband is funny. He's eh, he says, well, of course I don't want her to find love again. I mean, everybody needs to find love, but maybe I don't want her to do that. And I said, well, what are you talking about? And he says, no, she needs to. She's great. She's good. Like he's just talking about how wonderful you are. But he says that what? What? Interesting. And you're not remarried though right now?
No.
Okay. Okay. I said, did she find it? Like, did that ever happen? Has it already happened? He goes, no. He says, but one day it will. And I go, oh, and he just flat, I know, wait. I know we don't want you right now. We don't want to move forward, but like there's this really odd feeling of you, um, he shows me an image of you being in a kitchen, not cooking, but like if somebody had a glass of something and like if you have a glass of wine or something and you're drying out a cup because you don't want to have any spots on it. So that's what he shows you doing. But he shows somebody that's a lot taller than you coming up behind you and you go, "Hey." And you go, "Wow, this is I don't know if I should like this." So it's essentially I think down the line that you will find somebody and that's okay and he's going to bring him to you. And when that happens, I want you to know that that's okay and like you need to enjoy it at that point. And I think that this person are you like 5'1"? Are you like 5'5"?
Five,
Maybe?
three.
Yeah, you are that tall. Okay, because he says like this. He says, I said, how tall is she? Because I'm 6 feet tall. I said, compared to me. He goes, oh no, she's little. He says, so having somebody a lot taller than her won't be that hard. I was like, okay, whatever. But like this person literally feels like they're like 6'4", 6'5" that you get with. And I don't know why or how. So if I'm gonna say the person that you're gonna be with down the line is
Mhm.
about that tall. So if they're not that tall, walk away. Okay, don't even engage. But if you see somebody that's around 6'4" or 5" that just shows up and you're going to be like, is this it? Just like go with the flow. He's bringing it to you. Okay. But it doesn't feel like it's in the next 5 years. It feels like we're good, like 8, 9 years off. Okay.
Okay.
So just wait. Okay. So nothing quick. And he what? Hold on. Oh, interesting. And you are not you're not a grandma now?
No.
That's okay. Okay. There's like an odd feeling of I don't know if this other person is going to have kids. Probably. But there's an odd feeling that you will be like you go, "Oh, well, I'm a grandmother," but it's like because of this other person
Okay.
bringing it in. And so apparently they like you. I know I'm not telling you you're going to have kids right now, but like this is
Yeah.
happening. And all he's I think your husband's doing is he's trying to tell you that like it's okay to love, it's okay to go into this. It is later and that you will have family and you will have love and you'll have company and that he's going to be right there with you waiting for you when you cross over to down the line. So he's not going anywhere, but he wants you to live and enjoy life because that's what you deserve. Okay. And what? Tell me what's going on. Where? What? Why is he talking about how skinny his legs are? Hold on. Why are your legs so skinny? What's going on? Hold on. Because he couldn't run. He couldn't run, correct? He was not a runner, right?
No. No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bigger.
Yeah. I think
No.
he's yeah, I think he's trying to joke that like maybe he's very, very physically active now, or maybe he's trying to tell you that he's like running around, like just fun. So it'd be almost like the opposite of what he was, I guess. I
Okay.
don't know why to like, I'm trying to see what happened to him. Why did he cross over? Oh, come
Mm.
here. Every time I ask him, he kind of like turns away from the question. Oh, come here. Get quiet for a second. I can hear you. You. Don't worry. Here. Were you with him like after he crossed over?
Yeah, I found him.
You
Yeah,
did. He's having you go like this. He has you going, I wish my mic stretched out longer.
yeah.
He's making me hear this. Oh, 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 oh. Like that. He's making me hear that in my head, which and the feeling with it, which is a sense of worry, a sense of what, a sense of I'm in a little bit of shock and I can't say everything I want to say. And he's talking about hearing you go through this or being here. And he's standing behind you and he's standing around you. And he's like, and I was just standing here, like, what? What do you want me to do? Like that. What? Hold on. He says time ran out. He says by default. By default. Hold on. Where I think he's not telling me something, because he may be a little embarrassed. So we're gonna have to figure out what this is. Tell me. Did you like find him sitting up? Did you find him sitting up?
No, but I found him in the bathroom.
Bathroom. Okay. Oh, he's the bathroom one.
Mhm. Yeah.
There was a man here. I'll see if I can get that clip from this last session. I bet that was him. He talked about all he saw was like the fluorescent lights of a bathroom. And he was talking about people coming in to the bathroom. And I looked at my client and her dad. I was like, do you have like an uncle something that like died in the bathroom or like keeps talking about this?
Oh,
And she was like, no, it's your husband. So he was showing up beforehand.
yeah.
And so that's why it's embarrassing because he died in the bathroom as well. And he's talking about like the heaviness of it. But he wasn't going to the potty though. Correct. You didn't find him in the potty or anything like that. Right.
He slumped over off of the
Bumped over.
cupboard. Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I would have to say I've had a couple of people and men, they don't like to talk about that stuff a whole lot.
Yeah, he did, and it
But
was,
he apologizes for you. And he
was there
says
anything
that
I could have done?
what?
Was there anything I?
W Yeah, that's what he's going into right now. He's talking about how even if she would have come in and hold on. He said he was silent. He said he was silent. So he wasn't wheezing, he wasn't moaning or anything like that at that point. Okay. A lot of times you'll find them like as it's going in. And he says, Amie, there was nothing. There was nothing. He says, I was just there. I was silent. There was nothing. And she says, what is she going to do? Turn me over? Try to bring me back? He's like, that's not going to happen. I said, I know there's nothing you could have done. Absolutely nothing. And you, what? So you did end up calling 911 and they ended up coming over and it's yeah, he's there. I guess he's talking about how people are saying, is he breathing? Is he breathing? And you're like, no. And they're like, turn him over, like touch him or something like that. And he's like yelling from the back and he's like, no, nothing's happening. Um, he loves you. He loves you. You are his best friend. And all I have to say is that he has been with you and wanting to talk to you and that's why he showed up randomly and started waving in the back behind. And he says that what? Hold on. He says that he wants to treat you really well. He just says that y'all are star-crossed lovers in my head. I don't know. I think he's going back to yeah, I think he's like trying to be funny and go back to being very, very young. And I think he's trying to like relive life or enjoy it and trying to bring in how much he cares about you now. He has like this feeling about him that he could be very grumpy, but he's not portraying that to me. He doesn't want to show that to me. And so he's trying to be this hyper fun, almost very bright spirit because he now knows what is important in life and how much he needs to. And so he's really had this, I think I would almost say like a 360, or sorry, we don't want 360, a 180 viewpoint change. Okay. And hold on. She won. Hold on. She'd still won. So he did not like going to the doctor. He was not a person. He was, yeah. He says, you could call me Mr. Grumpy. I said, tell me about how you really were. I said, talk about this with me. And he says that he just gives me a feeling of like upcoming or bubbling up illnesses. So like maybe he had a couple of things, but he didn't go to the doctor. He didn't want to go because he was like, whatever. Or he just like doesn't want to pay attention to it. And he's like, and he says, I shouldn't have been that way. He takes for granted the fact that you would actually bring him and like make him dinner or like get him dinner all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Is that a thing?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
He gives me this image. Oh yeah, it's gonna get crazier. So right now it's in confession. So he was showing me in the very beginning what he's like. He's in heaven. It's his soul. This is your husband's soul in the good way. That's after all the other bullshit fell off when he died. He sees things from a different area and he loves you and you are his everything. But now we're getting down into the personality to which he created himself and he cocooned himself in. And so now he's going through and he's showing me the shitty side. Okay. So one of the things he did is he sat at a table and he says, I took advantage, or I took for granted all the time. She would just be like, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? And she was like, she'd put it down for me or she would get this for me. And he was like, and I had the nerve of being an ungrateful bastard, essentially. And he was like, look how great she is, or like he's just talking about that. He says, like, thank you for taking care of me and thank you for always being there. Thank you for being, everything to him. He does appreciate you. He says that he calls you sweetheart in my head. He's like, I want to see her smile. Like you and him feel like y'all are definitely a karmatic couple. I don't know. Lucille Ball. I don't know what that means, dude. He's saying like Lucy and Desi, and I'm like, okay, maybe you can be Lucy and Desi in my head. Maybe that's a good thing. And he says, tell me what. That's why you go out to eat. That's why he's making a big deal if you hang out all the time and get food to go or something. Maybe you don't cook as much, or I don't know. And so he's talking about being with you and how you don't do it as much. So he goes out with you now. Okay. Or you get it to go. And he says that, tell me what? Hold on. Did you? Why? And so do you have joint pain right now? Like knee pain, back pain? Like what's going on with you? Yeah, he goes like this. He says, he said, I always took for granted her pain. She always didn't say anything about it, or she suffered in silence. And I go, what? He goes, oh, the whole thing, joint pain, knee pain, back pain. And she would just still do it. He says, tell her I get it. I get it. I understand it. And he says that, oh, shush. Did we get him cremated?
Mm-hmm.
We did? Okay. He says, tell her she can wear me around her necklace. And I said, what? I said, does she do this? He goes, no, she doesn't. I go, oh, okay. Yeah. And I said, what do you mean? How is he wearing? How is she wearing you? He says, they turned me into ashes. Like, oh, okay. So you're not buried. He's just talking about where his urn is or like where his ashes is. We'll have to figure this out. And he says that, oh, do you have a dog that's cremated as well?
No.
Odd. He's talking about how that his ashes shouldn't be treated like a dog or something. Like maybe he wants them to be up higher, or maybe he wants them to be better. That's why I was like, maybe his ashes, like I'm thinking figuratively, like maybe his ashes are below the dog's, but he's literally saying like, make it better.
Which my dog is buried out in the desert somewhere. Maybe.
Oh my God. That may be okay. And he what? Netflix. Okay. What about it? He's talking about loving. I think he watches TV with you, I guess, or you watch, I don't know, something he likes to sit there. Do you like to watch? Hold on, hold on. What is that? You don't like to watch, I mean, it's okay if you do. I did it a long time ago. You don't like to watch those funny like dating shows or like those rom-comedy shows or any, I wouldn't say that, but like, you know, where people get on an island and they try to date each other or something. I don't know. He's talking about love, heart, and I was like, is this rom-coms? And he says no, but he makes it almost feel more realistic. And so I'm like, I don't know. There could also be a thing that maybe you turn on the television like the next day or so, and like one of those episodes starts playing from one of those shows, and I just want to let you know that would be your husband doing it. And so email me and let me know because they can do that. Okay. And he what?
They used to watch America's Funniest Home Videos.
Or Jeopardy.
Or Jeopardy.
Oh,
Jeff-
funny. Yeah. Okay, yeah, funny. Yeah, I would have to say that may go along with that. Yeah, he's just talking about it's real, but it's funny. And then he says, "Oh, ooh, ah." So I guess that could be cute as well. I'm thinking love. And he tell me what? He's learning. Jane. Weird. I have a spirit box on and it just said my grandmother's first name. Hold on. Come here. Tell me about you. Did you? We're going to get into the other gentleman in just a second, but he's trying to open himself up more. And had you been married to him? Had you been married to Terry for like at least 10, 15 years? Like you'd been married to him
Yeah.
for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
were together
Uh,
for 30 some years.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's a long time. I said, how long are y'all married? I said, was it like quick or like I've been married twice? Second marriage? He goes, no. He says, her and I have been married. He says, you know, twice as long as me and my husband been. So it's like 10. And he says longer than that. And he's talking about how, oh, does June have anything to do with you?
June the month
June. Yeah. The month of June. Yeah.
when we got married
Oh.
was June. Yeah.
That is him. Cool. Okay. Yeah. My last session, I'll get this one as well. My last session at the very end, they put in the month of June and they kept showing like anniversary. And I looked at my client. I said, you don't have anything to do with Gemini, right? And she goes, no. I said, yeah. I said, it's weird. And they just popped up. Let me show you. Hold on. Okay. I took a screenshot of it. You saw that. It just popped up in my brain again. And then right as it's popping up, well, I have to go to my pictures. He's been with me for a little bit. Hold on. It says June.
Ah.
Yeah, so that just happened. So he was like, essentially, he's like, dumbass, talk about this. And so he wants me. And so he wants to let you know that he's around and he loves you and he will be there for that.
Oh.
Okay. And hold on. So yeah, he's got much more romantic since she crossed over. Okay. And why? Like very much so. Did he used to saint and a sinner? Are y'all anywhere near Nevada or like Las Vegas?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll have to tell me where in a little bit, but he's talking about gambling. And I said, what do you mean gambling? I said, do you like to gamble or what? And then he said, oh, I'm a saint and a sinner. And I said, oh, gambling, saint and sinner. Where's this at? Right? Las Vegas or like something like that. Or I guess it could be Louisiana too, but it didn't feel like that. And he's talking about but he never had a gambling problem, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, that's what he says. He says, I didn't have that. He says, I didn't really have a drinking problem at all. I said, okay, great. And he's talking about having a beer. And he says, but like maybe it didn't like take over his whole life. And he just like wants to be better for you. So thank you for finding him. Thank you for cremating him. Thank you for loving him. And why don't you get yourself a dog?
That's come up recently. So yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
your husband from heaven just popped in my brain and told me to tell you to get a dog. So I think that's like a really big sign to do it. I mean, I don't know what else. He goes like this. I said, so what about her? What is one thing you want to tell her? He says, tell her to get a dog. It'd benefit. She'd benefit from it. Just tell her to go do it. She hasn't done it yet. I go, oh, okay. So do it.
Okay.
Okay. Do it. And hold on, are you going to make me? So I'm going to have to see if he's going to bull guard my entire brain or if he's going to let other people come in. So hold on. We will. What? Good job on the June thing. Sometimes I talk to them. So just hold on. Come here. Hold on, I'm refocusing. Can you tell me? What? Weird. You don't know a guy that like rides a motorcycle, right? Like right now, like fast motorcycle, like not like Harley. Yeah, okay. All I heard was, and this person's not dead. All I heard was a motorcycle, and I went "Whoom," all the way past my brain. I would also say too that if y'all go out or if you go anywhere, just watch out for motorcycles. I don't know. I've never actually had something like that show up. So just look both ways, a couple of times. Okay. Because it could be blindsided or something. Tell me, come here, bring this other person. Come here, come here. Yeah, your husband was like chomping at the bits as soon as I got in. He just like showed up in my brain. Boop, didn't even let me breathe. Come. Where are you? I have one more question for you before I move over to Mike. Did you not kiss him on his forehead before they took him out? You didn't do that?
No, I
No.
don't did.
That's what he said. He says, tell her, he says, ask her why she didn't give me a kiss. And I said, what do you mean by that? And he goes, just like up here. He goes, nothing, just took me out. And I go, oh, okay. I said, maybe she did, and I'm not. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I
like, I love you too.
Yeah.
I know.
know
Yeah,
him.
I know. He knows. He does. He's with you a lot.
Can
What
he,
question do you have?
do they hear us? Would he hear me if I talk to him?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, and you just talk inside. You don't have to talk out loud.
Okay.
Anything that you say inside, they can hear you. And they're also the one guiding you too. So a lot of times you'll go look at things and you're like, oh, that reminds me of him. It's not the fact that you came across it, it's the fact that he guided you to it. Okay. It's very different. Or when you're sitting by yourself and you may get some little goosebumps, or you may just start remembering like a random memory from y'all may pop in your head. That's not you. That's him putting it in there. Okay. Yeah. So he shows up for that. So you're not alone. Let me go back over here. Yeah. He's just like, this is what it feels like in my head. Come on, come on, come here. And I'm like, stop. I need to go here now. Like, that's the way he feels. So he's very forceful. He likes things done his way. Come here. Tell me. Where are you? What? Mike. That's what he's saying, or somebody's saying that. They're talking about how. Come here. You didn't have anybody, for you, Carissa, that ended up like passing of like hardcore cancer.
Mm-hmm. I did.
Okay, sorry. You did, yeah. There's somebody that just showed up and they made themselves very, very skinny, which means, yeah. And who? And was this a male as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, they just showed me man tennis shoes, which again, that's just for me as man. And they're talking about one. Hold on. Interesting. Would you say this goes into like a father figure almost for you, or like getting into like the person that would like look out over you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, that'd be yeah, because they're standing above you and they're saying they watch you, they take care of you, or they protect you. And so I'm saying father figure more than just dad. And they're saying that, tell me, they say we got our eyes in the sky. I go, oh, okay, that means that they're in a higher vibrational state as well. Hold on. Who? Weird. Does your mom have a brother that also crossed over?
No.
or who's like the uncle version? I don't think it's this guy, but is there like an uncle that crossover or somebody that would be like an uncle figure?
For
Not
me,
for me,
yeah.
for her.
Oh,
Yeah.
for her. Oh, okay. See, now we're both over here. Okay. Yeah. So I would say the cancer part goes for you, for dealing with a gentleman. And then over here, there's somebody that says, oh, let her know that her uncle is here too. So they're just like calling, or like an uncle figure. They're calling out to let you know that they're fine as well. We're going to kind of like open all the floodgates right now because I'm feeling around in my brain. And so there'll be random things that just pop through. They're saying, come here, tell me who. Hold on. I wonder if this other person is not on the same vibration. Tell me. Yeah, the only thing I'm getting right now is this gentleman that feels like a father figure that is just showing up, but he feels very nice. He feels very friendly. He's not bad. And he is, let me, what? Interesting. So with this gentleman that had this going on, did you end up seeing him like before he passed? You got to get your closure with him? Got to get your closure with him?
Mhm.
Yeah, he goes like this. I said, "Why are you here? What's going on?" He says, "She got to say her goodbyes to me, but I didn't. I want to say goodbye to her." Like that's all he says, and I go, "Okay." And he's talking about very nice. That's how he sounded, by the way. And he what? Really loves you. He's like, "How are you doing? How are you doing? Come here. Tell me about you. Come here. Where? Where?" Interesting, and they couldn't keep him on hospice at home, they had to keep him in, like, a hospital setting? You know? Or, like, what is going he's talking about having more medical than just, like, being able to be at home, crossing at home.
So it's my grandfather. So my
Yeah.
dad and my grandfather are both named Mike or Michael.
Mike!
My
Oh,
grandfather, he died of cancer, like a really hardcore
sure.
lung cancer.
Yeah.
He went through
Yeah! Oh,
a
that's
4-year battle. But he
yeah.
actually died in the home, like in hospice home
He
care thing.
did. Yes, okay, that's okay, yeah, he's just talking about, medical care, he keeps saying that he needs to have this medical care, and he keeps saying that people have to be around him, that he can't just die,
All the time.
like, at
It was on
yeah,
clock. People were taking
yeah,
shifts towards the end.
God,
Yeah. To the
bet, that's
bones and
terrible.
stuff. Like he lost when you talked about him being skinny, he just lost, he was a big old teddy bear and he went down to like skin and bones. So um
Yeah,
he
that's all he looks like in my head, but he's okay, he's not like that normally, and it's interesting that your dad and your grandfather are both named Mike, so when I'm calling Mike Ford, they both show up. You see what I'm saying? So, like, that's how they do this. So, hold on. Yeah, your grandfather is more of your, I would even say, like, guide right now more than anybody. I don't know why. Um, he just thinks that you are the best. And he always says, like, how uh smart and how I guess you always had a positive face on, or you always had like a fun or like brightness to see him, and he loves that, and he's talking about how he wishes that he would, be that for you or do that for you. And he's still going to do that. And he why? What? Hold on. So with your dad, you didn't get to say goodbye to him. You just kind of like got a call that he crossed over? Yeah, or something. He's just saying he goes like this. He says, "Well, I said, "Where's your son at then?" I said, "If we're calling him both Mikes." He goes, "Well, that's a little bit different." Now, I don't know if that means that he's in a lower vibrational state yet, but he keeps showing me black, so it may be. And I said, I go, "So what about?" She goes, "Well, she didn't get to say goodbye to him at all. It was just kind of like and then gone." And I go, "Okay." And tell me, hold on. So, where are you going in the afterlife? Your extension, uh, essentially they're levels. Okay, there's highest vibration, which people call heaven. There's middle, which is kind of like purgatory-esque, and then there's a low, low, low area. And whenever you channel, you have to tap into those different levels to hear somebody talk. So essentially, we've been on this like fluffy level, and so we're gonna try to see where this other person is. Hold on, maybe they're just come here. Where? Come here, Grandpa. Can you tell me? Oh, interesting. Was your mom, this is a weird word, just because they're showing me a picture. Um, is your mom neurotic?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, they showed me a picture and they put mom over it and they had somebody go like that. That's how they looked. And I'm like, that's odd. And what? So were they like married way too long, but like they would argue constantly? Do you have any idea?
No, they actually weren't married for very
They
long.
weren't married. Okay, okay, because they argued constantly. Okay. They go like this. They say he says, "Well, your grandfather says, well, it's mom is good, but it's hard to know what's going on in her mind or it's hard to get close to her. So like it would be difficult to really know who you actually are dealing with or like you to kind of like put your walls down to be in this." And then he goes and he's talking about dad and he says that maybe you wanted to be closer to your father or maybe you wanted to get closer to your dad or something, but like maybe it didn't go as planned. I don't know. Like there's like an odd spacing that happens here. And so like your grandfather's trying to say that he's your dad or like he's this guide or he's your person. And he says that he's still that all the way through. He why? Hold on. Wait, did your actual father, did he lose his life because of himself? That's what he says. He goes like this. He goes, "There's no accountability, no accountability." I said, "What do you mean by this, Grandpa?" He says, "He made a choice. He made a choice. It's because of himself." And I go, okay. And so,
That's my grandpa. That is
uh-huh.
exactly how he would sound.
Yeah, yeah. That's because he's here. He's hanging out. He's a really good guy. I see him like as this ball of light, and then I see a little floating head. Then it goes back to a ball of light again. And so this is and he's so all this time I've been sitting here and I've been trying to feel for your dad. And like I said, there's this middle vibration. And when I call for your dad, I don't get anything. And your grandfather is the guide here. He's the one that's helping you and loving you and nurturing you because your dad is in a lower vibrational state, which is not terrible. He can get out of it, but will he? I don't know. It just depends if he decides that he can. So let's go and see if we can grab him real quick. That just means that I need to change my feelings. Hold on. Come here, come here. Hold on. Why? Weird. Was he living in like a single, like a small apartment or something? Was your dad like living in a very small area or something?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay, because they just showed him. This is gonna get a little creepy. It's not bad though. They're talking about suicide. They're talking about they showed me a picture of like if somebody I don't know if he actually did this or if they're just trying to leverage this. They show me pop and they show me everything comes out. They go pop and then they have him laying down in this small one bedroom or small apartment or something like that. And they're watching this happen. And he goes, "That's what he did." I go, "Okay." And hold on. Why? I I tried to get close. I tried to love her. I tried to this. So now it's gonna get into like this weird feeling of like trying. Hold on, come here. He was kind of angry about life. Hold on. Hold on. And he didn't write a letter for you?
I don't know. So the story goes is that he died when I was 9. He was
Wow.
staying in we do live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and he was staying in a really shitty part of Vegas in this like daily motel, and they
Motel?
found him inside that motel, and he had shot himself. And um don't know whether or not there was a letter that was, I don't know.
No.
He was a writer
The-
though, so it's weird that
It's
he did
weird.
something.
Yeah, let me tell you, this is what I'm hearing. He goes, I didn't write her a letter. I didn't write her a letter. Why would I not write her a letter? Why would I do this? Why wouldn't I express myself? That's all he keeps saying. And so it's almost like I wanted him to, but he didn't do it. And it's just because of how deep it was. Okay. And he showed me this little small 1 bedroom room. And exactly. And I think, tell me, your grandfather's funny. He's like, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Like they're on very different levels. And he what? Oh, come here. Tell me about him. Is it? You know if that hotel or motel is now torn down?
I don't know. The last time, I haven't seen it in a couple of years. It could be tore down by now. I'd
Okay.
have to take a look and
Yeah,
see.
go and take a look. He showed me a wrecking ball. So either it's completely changed or it got wrecking balled. I don't know. That's what he says. He's just saying that it would be hard for you to go back there. But your grandfather says, "Oh yeah, he's just wandering around there. If there would be any place it'd be haunted, he'd probably be there for a little bit." He's talking about how why? Were you? So was he actually like working for or trying no, he says he was a freelancer, but was he also working for, like, the newspaper in Nevada as well or something? Yeah,
Mm-mm.
so he's a freelancer. Okay, yeah, he goes like this, he says, um, he's talking about getting jobs to get money, so, like, that would maybe be like a freelance or something. Because I asked him, I said, "Where do you write at? What do you do?" And he tell me.
He wasn't an actual writer. Like he just liked
Ah,
to journal and write like letters to
that's why.
students, stuff like that. But when he was working,
Yeah.
he had a drug problem, so he was trying
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
keep the money coming in. He was
Yeah.
an electrician, so he just got money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He got jobs and did some electrical work and stuff like that. So that's
Yeah.
kind of the
Let
whole
me
trying.
that'd be the freelance thing too, because he's just going and getting jobs and then continue. He doesn't work for a constant thing. I want to tell you that I think your dad is around, but I think your dad is in not as high as we want him to be. He's not in like low, low, low at all, but he would be in like an area that if he showed up, he would make you sad. If he showed up, you may feel like you have a lot of anxiety or depression just because he's going through that or he's dealing with that as well. Now, how long do they stay there? Well, time doesn't exist over there. And this is the whole thing that I'm trying to figure out personally. Am I talking to him, 20 years later? Or am I talking to him at the time that it happened? Because time doesn't exist. Do you see what I'm saying? And so that's why they're able to go through and show me these things like this. I mean, I heard the pop, like in my ear, went over. Like I know exactly what it went through. And so time, like I said, time doesn't exist. So don't think that he's been stuck here for years. That's not the thing at all. But he has to find his light. He has to find his higher vibration. He has to say, I am love. I am with God. Like everything is great. Everything is fine. And also it really helps if the family does this too. So one of the things that I would recommend for you is get a picture of him.
Okay.
Put it up in your house, or just, it doesn't have to be a big one, a little one. Put it up in your house, put a candle in front of it. Something about setting the intention and saying, Dad, I love you. Okay. It's about recognizing him, that he exists, instead of even our own feelings that are attached to our dad is negative, right? It's, he committed suicide, he left me. Your energy, your feelings do affect him as well, and vice versa. So I would say on a daily basis, pray to him, talk to him, meditate. It's all the same thing. You're putting this common feeling for a better thing, right? And say, Dad, I love you. Dad, I love you. Dad, I recognize you. I recognize what you do, da, 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 and say, I hope you find love, or I hope you find God. It's all the same thing. And so I would say do that. He will find his way. He will be okay. Nobody's ever going to get stuck, because at the end of the day, everything that we're here for, whether it be the low, the middle, or the high, it's all surrounded by love. It's all surrounded by God. It's all together. So nobody's stuck. It's a learning thing. So your dad's soul is learning, and he will move up. And the other thing I want to let you know is that your dad is also probably going to be one of your guides. Your grandfather is your heavenly guide. This is why he's protecting you. Okay. This is why he showed up. But your dad is going to have to be somebody that like helps you get to better parts of your life. So essentially, if you're having a really tough time, if you're struggling with anxiety, if you're struggling with depression, if you're struggling with, I can't finish drinking, or I want to stop drinking wine, ask him and he will help you. Give him a job to do. That's what they do. Okay. That's what they do. And that's what you need to do. And then you'll probably see his name a lot of places. You'll probably start feeling things. You'll also notice that I would even say start doing these things, and then write down how you're feeling today on 3/27 of 2024. And then do this every single day. And then write down how you're feeling a year from now. It is going to be completely different in a good way.
Okay.
Okay. And it's because, I hate to tell you this, but we're all connected. Even when you're dead, you're just, because your body's not there, your energy is still connected. So if we have all these negative feelings and connotations, it kind of pushes them down like a little weighted blanket. And so we have to like allow that to lift. Okay. And then it
Does he
helps
come
them.
around like when he's in a lower vibration? He still
Yeah.
comes around, but I feel it that way, right? Like the exact.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
picking up what? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just because, yeah, well, because think about it like this. I want you to think about music. The afterlife, I mean, everything is energy, everything is vibration, everything is frequency. From my voice to this light to how our cells are. It's all a vibration, right? And so when you cross over, whatever you are, you match that frequency, you match that vibration. Now, it's hard to understand this because we're so used to seeing physical things, but let me tell you, it is the thing. And after having multiple near-death experiences, I felt the whole feeling thing. It's a real thing. And so whenever you're feeling somebody like that, like whenever you get that negative feeling, or or that sad, it's not the fact that you are bad or anything bad is going to happen. It's the fact that that's their vibration, and it makes you feel uncomfortable because you are at a higher level. So it doesn't feel good.
Huh.
Okay. Anything that feels good is higher than you. That's it. That's why we're all searching for love. Because that's what you are.
Interesting.
Yeah. I like that.
Okay. Yeah, it's just the whole thing. Oh yeah, no, I'm a nerd when it comes to this. I'm trying to figure out, what is the afterlife, how does it work, and how can I talk to them better? And that's why I tell you all this stuff. Like, I'm like, okay, maybe he's not here because I don't feel him. There's like nothing. And I'm like, let me go down. And it's for the past 20 years, it's the same thing. Always, always. So yeah, there is, your dad can love you, but because he's not in that environment of love, he's not matching it. He can't understand it yet. So he's searching for it, but because he's not embodying it, he can't actually say, I love you so much, because he's not in the presence of love. Do you see what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean that it can't love, but we need to love him so that it moves up.
Okay.
That he moves up. Okay. So that's all you need to do. And I can honestly tell you that if you start doing this, wait for a year, and most of your anxiety is going to go away. A lot of your feelings like depression, sadness, any of that, you will feel like a completely different person. It's because whether you're dead or alive, we're all connected, including your husband that was embarrassed about talking about dying on the toilet. Okay. That came into my last session and talked to me about your anniversary. So your husband came through and knocked on my brain in another session to talk about your anniversary. Just realize that, right?
Okay. He knows how much we all
So-
miss.
Oh,
You know.
yeah, he does. Yeah, absolutely. No, he
Yeah.
knows. They're always with you, by the way. They're always with you. So anything that you're doing, they're always with you. Okay. So
Amy,
y'all, for
question.
what? Tell me, ask me. Mhm.
I interviewed for a position today.
Okay.
Am I gonna get it?
Mm. Oh, I have to go off with what? I don't know. Okay, if I tell you this though, you can't change your vibration. Okay. I know you're wanting for another position. I know you're looking for that, but they give me two things. They show me you typing on a computer, which just means work to me. Okay. Like
Mhm.
that. And then they talk about, I guess, maybe jumping into this position. And if you get into it 6 months from now, it's not what you signed up for. And I would even say maybe this goes in with, there's a feeling of like maybe getting a call back or maybe getting a like maybe to a next step or next level or something like that. But I don't see you working there. And I think the moral of the story is that it when it comes, it will come and it's okay. And if we get into this position right now, that it won't work out in 6 months. So just wait.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So it just means that it's not the best for you right now.
Okay,
That's what I'm going to say.
understand.
So you may, like I said, there's a feeling of like, yay, which for me that means callback or like there's a second step. But then I don't feel you saying, Amie, I've been there for 3 years now. I don't feel you saying that.
Okay,
So that's the longevity factor.
okay.
Okay. But yeah, but email me and let me know. Let me
Okay.
know what happens. Okay. And then y'all, you have a lot of stuff to think about. I have to run to my next session. Otherwise they're going to get mad at me. Yeah, go and take a moment, have a good breather, have a good ugly cry. If you need me or if you have any questions, email me and take time to talk to them. They can hear you. Okay.
All right, thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love y'all. Bye.